name's Mitchell. I'm from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I'm new to Doctor Who, so I decided to make a podcast called New to Who, a newcomer's perspective. I don't know much about Doctor Who, I know a little bit of it. It's definitely right up my alley. I don't really know why I haven't in the past really hooked into it to watch it. I've watched a couple of episodes and I never really went back to it. I do have reasons why, which I'll go into later. But really, why now? Why do I feel like I need to or want to get into Doctor Who right now? I would say it's because it was the 50th or 60th anniversary recently, so I saw a lot of it on TikTok. And there's a new Doctor Who coming out in like 21 days or something. So I don't know what Doctor that is, 13 or 14, I'm not too sure. So that's kind of got me interested a bit in it. My partner now, she's very much into Doctor Who and knows all about it. So she's kind of been helping me out. So what I do know about it, uh, Doctor Who is a doctor, he calls him. He or her calls themselves the Doctor. I know they're not a medical doctor or anything like that. I don't know what they're a doctor of or if that's a different meaning. I don't know any of that. I know they travel in a TARDIS, which is time and relative something. I don't know. I can't remember the full acronym. I know it travels through time and space, and it's in the shape of a. First, I thought it was a telephone box, but it has police box written on it. I have been to England once. I don't know what a police box really is. I guess you get in it to make a phone call to the police only. I don't know. I did ask why. Why is it? Why is it stuck in this? Why is it a police box? And my partner told me that it got stuck that way. So one of my many questions is to find out why it's stuck like that, or when did it happen, and what was it before? Before it was a police box, what was it? So I've made a list of a couple of things that I have watched in the Whoniverse, I believe they're calling it now. Um, so I'm watching the episode Rose at the moment. I'm 30 minutes through, and I've just paused it just to jump on here. Now, everyone tells me to start here. So when I look at my streaming service, it's season 1, episode 1, Rose. So the introduction of Billie Piper as Rose Taylor, and the Ninth Doctor, which as I understand is Christopher Eccleston. Now I know a little bit about him. I know he doesn't like Doctor Who, like his experience as playing the Doctor afterwards. I saw an interview recently on TikTok about how he says he's never thought of it, the anniversary coming up, and he won't be involved, which sucks. I really hate when actors do that. There was someone in Star Trek Voyager, Chakotay, I believe, who is the same. They do it for money. They don't want to be involved, and they had a bad experience, and they don't want anything to do with it, which is kind of crap. All right, so far the episode's quite good. I've been all my attention is on it. It's been kind of horror based because there were these mannequins that came alive and started turning their heads and looking at Rose as she was going through the building to take lottery money or something to an office. It definitely has horror tropes in there, but you didn't get to see the Doctor himself until later on when he comes to save her, and then he kind of disappears and says, "I'll, you just forget this all happened," and he disappears, and then she goes home. But the arm of the mannequin goes with her, and it's lying on the couch, and you just know later on it's going to jump out. And she has a boyfriend, Mickey, I think, who turned into one of these mannequin things. And it's also got a lot of humor in it, which is good because that's what Marvel sort of does, this action and this humor that's mixed quite well. I find these two together good. I like their kind of chemistry they have. So I'll get back on in a bit, and I'll I'll let you know what I think of the full episode. Now, the other episode I've seen is Dalek. Dalek, I don't know who was the doctor in that one. Same guy, Christopher Eccleston, turns up with Rose in a American fallout shelter or something. And there was a guy there who owns the internet, and they had a Dalek in prison, and he was wrapped in chains. And I thought that was interesting. I think it was supposed to be set in 2012 or something. And Rose ends up touching the Dalek and transferring some of her DNA to it, and it comes alive, or it wakes up and it gets out of its chains and kills everyone. And then you get to see inside the alien creature inside the Dalek, and I think it kills itself, or it dies somehow, because it had, what I found out later, because I watched a 37-minute YouTube video all about the Daleks, because I need to know a bit more. So their only emotion is destroy and eradicate. But when Rose touched it, it absorbed her DNA and got more emotions, and was overcome with emotion and couldn't handle it, which I think is great. It's great writing. It was really good. I don't understand how the TARDIS gets to these places. From what I gather is, and what I'm told, the TARDIS, spins through time and space and takes the Doctor where he or she needs to go. Like, if something happens, it goes there, and then the Doctor has to figure out why they were brought there, and fix whatever it is, and then they can go on their way. Now, I remember watching the 1996 movie with Paul McGann when it came out. And I remember thinking it was great, and I'm going to watch Doctor Who from here on in. But again, I never went past that episode. I remember it being good though. I also watched a Neil Gaiman written episode called The Doctor's Wife. So I couldn't remember the name of it, so I had to Google it. And apparently he's written two. And then what I do remember of that episode was a planet of TARDIS parts. And I thought that was really cool. And it came out in 2011, so I watched it when it came out, so it was a while ago. So now I want to know more about why there's a planet of TARDIS parts. So I will continue on with the Christopher Eccleston season, but then I might also watch the brand new season coming out in this month, November 2023. But I'll have to catch up on some of the prior knowledge and the lore, so I know what's going on. So I'll get back to Rose now. I'll finish this episode and then I'll come back on. Okay, so I just finished the episode of Rose. It was very good. For a second there, it seemed like she wasn't going to go with him. So the Doctor said, "Why don't you come with me? It travels through space." And she said no and walked off with her useless boyfriend. And then he came back a few seconds later and said it can go through time. So she runs in slow motion to the TARDIS and off they go. So, okay, so I know the Doctors have companions, but I don't know how they're chosen. So this one, she wasn't exactly chosen. It was more of an accident. She just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right place at the right time. So that leads me to a question. I know all the other Doctors have companions, and is that just how it goes for every other companion? Are they just in the right place at the right time, or does the TARDIS or the Doctor choose them somehow? And when they go on these big adventures for seasons, do they just get dropped back off where they picked up, like nothing happened? So I'm looking forward to knowing about that. All these questions I do have, I know I can just go on Google or find a Doctor Who expert who knows everything and ask them. But I like to find out as I go along and try and answer it than Googling it. So I found out that there are 12 Doctors, I believe, and we've gone past 12 now. So I want to know why. Why did we go past the 12th Doctor? Why is this one special? I know they come from a planet called Gallifrey. From something I watched on YouTube, Gallifrey was a planet that had two warring peoples. I don't know much more. He's the last of his kind, so I don't know if they're all sort of like this, or the Doctor is like an occupation that you have, or something like that, or they're like a policing system. So I'd like to know about Gallifrey and a bit more about that. And Torchwood. I know Torchwood comes from Doctor Who, and I know his name's there's a Barrowman. His name's Captain Jack. I sell my own fiction books at Supernova Brisbane twice a year for the last like 6 years, and I've seen him there a few times. I've never gone up to him or paid for an autograph because I just didn't know really. I didn't watch Torchwood, so I want to know what Torchwood is and how it spins off from Doctor Who. So I'll probably find that out. River Song. I hear River Song a lot. I know what she looks like, and from what I hear, is she trying to kill Doctor Who? But then there are episode like snippets I see where they're friends or something. So I want to know more about that. I'm excited to watch the new Doctor Who. Maybe they will hopefully think that more people will be jumping on board in this new one, and they might go through a couple of introductory episodes so you can kind of catch up. Like, this is all the information you need to know going forward. And then you kind of collect information as you go, which is what I'm doing. So I'll start with Christopher Eccleston. I'll try and watch all his ones. I know Matt Smith is very popular. I don't really know, or is it David Tennant, or both of them? I don't know. I don't know which one comes next. I have no clue. But that's fine. I'll just keep watching them. And as I watched a couple episodes, I thought I'd jump on here and I could maybe answer the questions that I've asked previously, expand my Doctor Who knowledge, let you know what I've learned, and maybe explore more questions that I have. And then we'll just go for there. See you next time.